All right, so the World Cup, biggest stage in football, legends are made, history gets written. But yeah, not every team that shows up is ready for it. Some nations, let's just say their campaigns were over before they even got started. And I'm not just talking about losing games, I mean proper disasters like shipping double-digit goals, failing to score even once, or becoming remembered for one single embarrassing moment. So today, we're counting down the top 5 worst national teams to ever play in a World Cup. And trust me, some of these are rough. At number 5, we have Saudi Arabia at the 2002 World Cup. So, Saudi Arabia, 2002 in Japan and South Korea, and honestly, it was a nightmare from the very first whistle. 3 group games, 3 defeats, and 0 goals scored. But the one that made headlines worldwide was that 8-0 demolition by Germany. Miroslav Klose helping himself to a hat-trick like it was a training match. It's still one of the heaviest defeats in World Cup history, and it instantly turned Saudi Arabia's campaign into a punchline. Not a single point, not a single goal, just humiliation on the biggest stage. At number 4, we have Honduras at the 2014 World Cup. Yeah, Honduras in Brazil 2014 had a rough time. They came in with hope of at least competing, but it never really clicked. 3 group games, 3 defeats, and they conceded 8 goals while only scoring once. That single goal came from Carlo Cosli against Ecuador, and honestly, that was about the only highlight. Their style of play was labelled negative, overly aggressive, and by the time they went home, Honduras had racked up more yellow cards than shots on target. It was the kind of campaign that leaves you remembered for all the wrong reasons. Number 3, China, 2002 World Cup. So, China finally made it to their first World Cup in 2002. Huge achievement just qualifying, but once they got there, yeah, it was brutal. They were drawn against Brazil, Turkey, and Costa Rica, and the gulf in quality was obvious from the start. 3 games, 3 defeats, 0 goals scored, and 9 conceded. Brazil brushed them aside 4-0, Turkey 3-0, and even Costa Rica managed a 2-0 win. The dream of competing on the world stage quickly turned into a reality check. China didn't just fail to win, they didn't even find the back of the net once. At number 2, we have Panama at 2018 World Cup. Panama's first ever World Cup appearance in Russia should have been a proud moment, and it was for qualifying alone. But once the game started, it turned ugly fast. They lost all 3 matches, conceding 11 goals and scoring just 2. England smashed them 6-1 with Harry Kane grabbing a hat-trick, and Belgium put 3 past them without breaking sweat. Their only real highlight was Felipe Beloy scoring Panama's first ever World Cup goal against England, which sparked wild celebrations back home, even though they were already 5 goals down. A debut to remember for the wrong reasons and one of the worst campaigns the World Cup has ever seen. At number 1, we have Zaire, 1974 World Cup. Now this one's infamous. Zaire, now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo, qualified for the 1974 World Cup in West Germany, becoming the first sub-Saharan African nation to appear on the biggest stage. But once they got there, it was chaos. They lost all 3 group games, including a 9-0 thrashing by Yugoslavia, which still stands as one of the biggest defeats in World Cup history. And then of course there's the moment everyone remembers, that bizarre free kick against Brazil, where a Zaire defender just ran out of the wall and booted the ball away. 3 games, 0 goals scored, 14 conceded, and a campaign remembered more for comedy than football. Honourable mentions. There are a few other teams that could have easily made this list. Trinidad and Tobago in 2006, for example. They were praised for fighting spirit, but they finished with just a single point and didn't score a single goal in the group stage. Or Angola in 2006, another debutante who played defensively, nicked a couple of draws but again couldn't find the net more than once. And even Togo in 2006 had a nightmare, off-field disputes, players threatening to strike, and 3 straight defeats. None of them were quite as historically bad as our top 5, but they definitely belong in the conversation. And that's the list that the worst of the worst on the world's biggest stage. Proof that just qualifying for the World Cup doesn't guarantee you'll be ready for it. If you enjoyed this countdown, drop a like, hit subscribe, and stick around. I'm Ranking Reporter, and I'll be here every day with more football stories, stats, and rankings you won't want to miss.